NYS has its many flaws, but then it's only work, dedication from the public, the government, and especially the youth that with that will we attain success with the National Youth Service.
They recruit many youth services, thereby convincing them that they have supplied enough facilities to use. Like we take for instance, in last year they recruit more than 10,400 youths to work on the NYS, but you know that there is not enough facilities.
Hello and welcome to the Great Debaters Contest. This is the Connect edition that gives you a veteran outlook on the debates that have already taken place. I am Austin Nyambok.
And I am Mariam Bashar. Today's debate is on whether the National Youth Service should be made compulsory to every citizen above the age of 18. It took place between Naivasha Girls and Githima Secondary. And the veterans, as Austin has referred to them, kindly introduce yourself before you give us your views.
My name is Ron Simiu from Kenyatta University.
I'm Shinina Muthiara.
I'm Chris Jirma from Jomo Kenyatta University.
I'm Claire Mushiri.
First of all, the proposers gave out the various values that the National Youth Service instills. They said, you know what? A person who goes through the NYS comes out empowered. They come out having life skills and things such as masonry, such as carpentry. The simple problems we encounter at home are very easy to fix. He said, you know what? It's a better way of spending time after KCSE than just wandering around the streets waiting to go to the university or elsewhere. So first of all, do you agree with that the National Youth Service does instill these sorts of values in our youth?
It does instill skills, but not values, because I've said this before sometime, there's nothing you can teach me in one day that I have not learned my entire life. So skills, sure, but why not just go to a vocational school if you want skills? Why go to the military?
I think they do instill skills and values as well, because I feel like you're brainwashed to be disciplined.
Can you brainwash someone into... No, but if you're brainwashed into being disciplined, you're not really disciplined. It's just that you don't know anything else, right?
NOS training is military-like. And something about military-like, they break you to the bottom so that you're like no one. Mm-hmm. Then they build you up. That's what they say in military school. So yeah, NOS training isn't ideal for every citizen in Kenya. And to be honest with you, that 1 year I got of freedom, no work, doing nothing. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't give that up for NYS. Never.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. I'd like to highlight something about the opposers' argument. They stated that these values, these skills, can be obtained anywhere else. It's not just NYS. What's your view on that, Chris?
Not really. You see, the values and the skills and values that are taught at NYS are quite unique by itself. As Rona said, they're somehow like military. They're not just gotten anywhere. And you can't, if it's not NYS, you can't get military training from any other institution if it's not army-based. So, yeah, the kind of what guys are taught at NYS is unique. No school offers such learning experience, because there's so many things involved. There's that military training. Yes, there's academic learning also. The guys are taught on it's more of like a polytechnic in an army, because those guys do everything. And I think I disagree with Claire. I think they instill skills and values, because the way Rona said, they break you to make you. So once they've broken you, not physically, obvious.
True.
It's a matter of them trying to see where you can be able to reach your maximum and optimum. And true, when you go in, you'll come out a different person. So it's a unique place, and I don't think there's another place like that.
I think that you don't need NYS to learn discipline, values. You don't need NYS to do that. That's the role of your mother and your father, the people who brought you up, are the people who influence your belief system. And scientists have proven, I read a book this morning by Jack Canfield, and they say that the time to influence somebody, to instill values, to make that person who you want them to be is between the age of 0 to 12 years. So you can't make an 18-year-old what you want them to be unless you brainwash them. That's why I called it brainwash, because no one goes into NYS and comes out the same way.
Okay, I have a question. People who are pro NYS will often say, aside from the discipline aspect, they say this generation of youth is lacking life skills, the very basic skills. You can end up, you make your money, you're good, you're well off, but a light bulb goes off in your house and you can't fix it.
But don't you think that's common sense? you know?
No, this is what a lot of people.
Up, you know?
There's people who can change a light bulb, Austin, and I'm not saying that's what people go to NYS to do. I'm just saying people argue that there's certain basic things that we don't know how to do, and therefore it shouldn't be optional. Because when you say you can acquire those skills from a vocational training school, you'll opt out of that. We want to make it compulsory that you learn these things. You learn to fend for yourself. You learn to be physically fit, to train, to do what, to be able to do simple carpentry around your house. When something breaks, you can take a hammer and a nail to it and fix it. So it shouldn't be a choice that you get to learn these things. You need them. Therefore, we're going to instill them in you. The same way education is compulsory. Like basic education is compulsory.
You see, Shinia, you said 0 to 12, that's when you train a child to be a specific person in life. It's apart from 0 to 12, there's another age in life whereby you comprehend on what you want. 0 to 12 you've understood. 12 to 18 is when you choose your path now. So from then on, people might have chosen different paths, but I think NYS gives an opportunity for them to now, like, if I got wrong or I lost my path, it's time for me to make it right, or give you another opportunity for you to do something good for yourself.
But if you say it like that, you make NYS seem like a rehab where, from my point of view, it's a choice to go to rehab. You understand?
Right now,
so it should be optional. It shouldn't be made compulsory.
No, right now, currently, if you personally, I'm not for the idea it should be compulsory, but it's a life-changing, opportunity for many people.
Would you go? Would you go willingly?
Personally, I know myself. I'm well equipped with life skills that can go into right now.
Then it should be no challenge to you. It should just be.
Yeah.
I walk in.
If today it was made compulsory, I'd go. It's not. I wouldn't. Say no or reject. It's hard there, but then you're going to be there. We're going to be there. So if it's compulsory.
True.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Any divergent views, Ron?
Okay, I believe NYS is really important in our country, but it shouldn't be compulsory. One of the debaters gave, I believe, Nigeria as an example, whereby for you to be a leader, you need to have gone through the youth service. Mm-hmm. But Nigeria has a lot of militia. If you train the entire population, riots in Nairobi will no longer just be riots. Mm-hmm. There will be riots with disciplined rioters, with formations, with skills to riot. Mm-hmm. And if there's ever something like a post-election violence, be sure it will get worse than in 2007. Mm-hmm. These are trained individuals with discipline. They're basically disciplined forces. And an entire population being a disciplined force. It means any community with disagreements, like Castro rustlers over there, wow, it will be something else. It will be like a war. They'll fight.
It's nice that you use that word militia, because you reminded me of something. It's controversial, but I'll still put it out there. There's people who argue that the NYS, being a paramilitary force, is very dangerous to this country. It's almost like a reserve army. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like it's this wealth of power that we're keeping in stock just in case we might need it, and it's not right to do that. I don't know who agrees with that opinion, that the NYS is almost being kept as a paramilitary force, and if in case it is used, it could be potentially dangerous. So if we make it compulsory, that's a very large force. I don't know.
First, I'd like to disagree with what Ron said before I answer your question. I don't know, you're contradicting yourself. A discipline. I hope you understand by the meaning of disciplined forces. The art and training they go through breaks them, the way you said, to make them someone different, to be disciplined in that particular force. So when you say the whole country will be trained to be a discipline, an army of sorts, a militia, and then the chaos breaks out, it's a bit hard. You see, it's discipline. They're taught to be under instruction. And so it's
So
not.
what,
But you
what
won't-
if
you
there's
won't be-
negative instruction?
Negative
What if
instruction?
what if there's negative instruction? That means the damage and the chaos will be much more, and it'll affect
Also-
a lot of people.
Also, you won't be in the NYS your whole life. You'll be there for a year. The skills will remain with you throughout your lifetime, but the discipline may not.
Yes.
So what happens 10 years down the line when you're just a monanchi with all these skills, but then a riot breaks out?
You know, when they say disciplined, they do not mean that you cannot do anything wrong. A disciplined soldier is an individual who will do and obey all the commands from the officials above them. So if you are told to kill, you'll kill. So if, like, communities are fighting and there are people above you, as a disciplined member of a force, you are more likely to do everything you're commanded to do. That's why you could be a disciplined force doing the wrong thing. And that's why you find like there are some soldiers who do horrendous things during war, even though they're still disciplined.
Aside from that, let's look at it from it being compulsory. Let's say I went to NYS, I really didn't want to go there, but I came out with all those skills. I won't even think about, I want a commander. No, I have the skills and I can fight this thing. I'll just fight.
Let me ask a question before we go to break. NYS, instead of having just 2 years at the end of your 4 years in high school, how about we integrate it with a high school curriculum? What are your views on that? A quick one before you go on break. Claire?
That's a joke.
That's a joke. Why?
You get a choice whether you want to pursue an academic career, a military career, an entrepreneurial career once you finish school. Why would I want to force you when you're in high school to make the same choice without even giving you a choice? Moifos's academy and the group of schools, they are literally military-run institutions, right? If I'm not wrong.
Ron?
It is?
Yeah, okay. They get military funding.
They get military funding, are based in military bases, and hence the same amount of discipline and order is expected, right?
No, they're just like normal schools. Okay, I get your point.
Yes, now, taking that, are you a different person because you went to an military-based school as opposed to anyone who went to any other different school?
Yeah, I'll answer a question like this because, you know, Muifos is like any ordinary school, but I get what you're trying to say. Yeah, and I agree with you. When you go to NYS, they break you down and they rebuild you in their own image, what they believe a soldier should be. And a lot of guys lose their personalities over there. So you'll be having an entire population of basically robots made. You lose yourself over there. And I don't think I will go to NYS if I were asked to, but I wouldn't want everyone to be forced to go there.
Chris, any sentiments on the same? But they should be integrated into a curriculum?
Definitely not. They should not. You know, everything has its own time, and there's a book called Time to Grow. I can't remember the author, but it says with every step in life comes a certain responsibility for you to counter it, and how you counter it, there's a counter effect. So make at that point 14 years, how you're supposed to counter life is counter life like a teenager who's beginning life, to experience, not to be now trained to be like a militant or something. It's for you to be a teenager, grow like a teenager, understand your life, go through that process. Now imagine me bringing that aspect of NYS training in between that period. I'm playing with your growth. So you see, at the end of the day, you won't end up being how will I put it, the right person that you were expected to be.
Well socialized.
Well socialized. Yeah, you followed the right stages of life, did this, did that. You see, after 18, that's the important thing is you finished that part, you're an adult. That's where you get your ID. Such that now you can be able to make your own choices. But I'm not for the idea.
Education already does a lot to make us think in a certain way and control our activities and behavior and our routine. Why do we want to add on to that? We've already lost enough of ourselves going through an education system. Why lose more?
Okay, I don't think it should be added to the curriculum. First of all, it's already intensive. Second of all, it's going to be logistically difficult. It's going to be expensive. I don't think it's the ethical thing to do, to be honest with you. Training children in in the way NYS does it. Maybe it even borders on illegal internationally, because those guys, their training is really intense. So I don't believe it should be added into our curriculum, especially under the ages of 18.
Okay, very well. I think that's a good parting shot from Ron, and we'll be back after the break.
National Youth Service is a service developed by the government with a vision to catalyze youth empowerment and to impact the society in a positive way.
Some of those topics that are taught in the youth service should be put in the education curriculum, because they are doing double work. Teach most of the things in the high school and then in NYS.
Welcome back to the GDC Connect edition. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to keep the conversation flowing on Twitter at Great Debaters EA. We're discussing matters NYS and whether it should be compulsory. And ladies and gentlemen, we cannot deny that NYS has had a certain impact in our society, a positive one that especially when it comes to the youth projects, such as a lot of the work they've done in Kibera and all that. Do you feel like if we made it compulsory for every citizen, this effect would trickle down to all parts of the country, such that at every corner there is an NYS graduate who's doing something for the community? Do you think that would be the case?
Definitely. Two hands are better than one. And if NYS are able to do this amount of work that they do, and the number they are right now, if the country had a larger number, it would be better, it would be easier, it would be more efficient. Work would be easy. Despite the fact we're saying the one for that, if everyone was to enter NYS, there would be that militant, they'll be having that military training that, war can come out of it. That's the bad side. Look at it on the good side now. Everyone is an NYS person. They have that skill, they can help. They've been trained in disaster management, like what happened in Huruma. Those guys really helped. And if you see, they're just diligently doing their own thing. So imagine if there were like 500 guys on that project from NYS, cleaning. These guys clean garbage. They can keep order where they can. So it's if a larger number of people were in the system, it would be better and it would help the country internally.
What about, if not making it compulsory, let's advertise it more. Let's make it enticing for people to join.
Don't they do that all the time? I just
They do. They have a very nice slogan that I can't remember right now about serving your country.
Not advertising like that. Advertising that will actually make me want to join. Give these people actual benefit. Not the whole colorful.
Or like brand activation, like they be somewhere where people can sign in and.
Do make it aggressive. Make people want to join so that they can be someone good in society, so that they can give back for whatever reason that they have. Just make it more enticing to the people instead of making it compulsory. That would make people willing to do it, because if you force me to do something and I go there and I know I have no option, I'll go through the system, but that won't necessarily make me want to replicate the values or skill that I've learned in this community once I get out. I might just want to get out and just forget about it altogether. What if we try to make them want to go to NYS, want to learn, want to do the community work, and when they actually leave, they actually have passionate about it, and so they can do it diligently and not just could become drones who are forced to do things just because you're trained and you're disciplined.
I think that NYS is all about serving your country. And it's the same thing as the military, it's the same thing as being a doctor. Whereby you're packing everything else and you're saying, hey, I want to do something for my people. So I don't think that you can take a cow to the river and force it to drink water. It's not practical. So if it's made compulsory, if you're forcing me to do community projects, you're forcing me to do all those things. If I don't have interest in it, I won't give 100%. I won't do the best. Yes, we'll do those things, but they'd be much better if I'm doing it from a point of view like, I'm so pumped up. I need to do this. I want to see these guys going to school. I want to see this place clean. I want to ensure that my country is safe. You know, if I'm doing it from a point of, I really want to do this, that's when it's effective. But if I'm doing it because, oh my God, I have to be here, like, we're in a generation where no one wants to be forced to do anything. Yeah.
Adding to Shinina's point, it's all about patriotism and the will to serve. If everyone had that heart, we wouldn't be talking about a compulsory NYS. So it's just the heart to want and the will to serve.
Okay, even though NYS has like the negative aspect, like everybody is trained, so a population which is completely trained in such skills becomes a safer society. It becomes more difficult for you to be mugged. If the mugger knows this person has been trained, because of course he's Kenyan and it's compulsory, he has been trained. If there's an explosion or if there's an emergency, the population is better equipped and more level-headed when dealing with it. If Al-Shabaab, God forbid, attack, they are less likely to attack a population which they are sure has this training. I'll give an example of Israel. Israel has a compulsory military. It's not a voluntary force like Kenya. As an Israeli citizen, there's a time you must join the military at a given age. You can leave after, but you have to join it. So the entire population is like militarized. And I believe they are safer because of that.
The same question I posed to Chris, because you've all pointed out NYS has very positive attributes. So given the chance, without having it be compulsory, would you join the NYS? After high school, for let's say, I think in the 90s and I think probably 80s, it used to be for 3 months before campus. How many would do that? Yeah? Just say, yeah, and why? If yes, why? If no, why?
If it was then, fine. If it was now, I don't. If I'd go to NYS just to look for something that I don't have, and I know myself quite well, so it's all about soul searching, and understanding who you are and what you can do. So if you can still be of service to your nation without those military skills, then I don't see a point of going.
My answer is just like Chris's. Before, there's even time for you to join it. But right now with university and the early intake, I wouldn't even have time to join NYS. So no, because of what I will be missing out by joining it.
Okay, now for the young ladies, I'd like to direct a much more controversial question. Do you think that we should provide like an office or like give them more mandate in every county? Like there should be an NYS office that is in charge of, doing this sort of work in the community. And don't you think that them having such power would politicize the entire program?
That's a tough question. But I think that I don't think NYS projects are due to being told you guys are in charge of this. I feel like it's part of the training. So if the government was to do that, like ensure there's an NYS office everywhere, and then now tell them you guys are in charge of this, I feel like that will like kind of slow it down in terms of what they try to achieve with what they're teaching people in terms of giving to the community and everything. And yeah, you're right. It will politicize the whole issue, which basically we've seen it in Kenya. Once you politicize something, it's a gone case.
Claire?
I think that's duplication of duties because Nairobi has the Nairobi Council, City Council, that is in charge of basically amenities, garbage collection, water and sewage, and stuff like that. So if we put another body there of people, then we're just wasting money, I think, yeah. And then, but I wouldn't join the NYS because I'm scared of hard work, like manual labor.
Thank you so much for tuning in and making time to listen to us today. I'd also like to thank all the members of the panel, Claire and Chris, and of course Shanina and Ron. Thank you for coming and sharing your views with us. We'd also like to ask you to keep the conversation going online. Find us on Twitter at Great Debaters EA. Engage us, give us your views. Do you think the NYS should be compulsory or not? I have been your host, Mariam Bishar.
And I am Austin Yumbokwo. You can also check us on our individual handles and keep the conversation going. Catch you next time.